used as a tool here in the Jammu and Kashmir to carry out attacks.
Appreciate you sharing all those details with us, Ajay. Shifting focus now, India's External Affairs Minister Dr. S. Jaishankar is set to visit Sri Lanka next week, a trip coming at a time when Delhi immediately reached out to its neighbour amid ongoing recovery from one of the country's worst natural disaster in decades. The visit follows India's swift and extensive humanitarian response to Cyclone Ditwah, which struck Sri Lanka on 27 November 2025, triggering catastrophic floods and landslides that have claimed over 500 lives and affected millions. India launched Operation Sagar Bandhu immediately after the cyclone made landfall, becoming the first nation to deploy specialized disaster responders. EAM Jaishankar's upcoming visit is expected to focus on continued reconstruction support, reflecting India's Neighbourhood First policy and shared maritime interests. My colleague Brian Thomas joins us for more on this. Brian, the External Affairs Minister is set to visit Sri Lanka next week. What exactly can be expected out of this visit?
Well, India launched Operation Sagar Bandhu immediately after the cyclone made landfall, emerging as the first country also to deploy specialized disaster response teams. And now, yes, like you mentioned, External Affairs Minister is scheduled to visit Sri Lanka next week, which is a visit that comes amid India's rapid outreach to its neighbour, following one of Sri Lanka's worst natural disasters in decades. This also trip follows New Delhi's swift and large-scale humanitarian assistance after Cyclone Ditwah struck the island on the 27th of November, unleashing devastating floods. Not only that, Operation Sagar Bandhu also activated within hours of the cyclone's landfall. INS Vikrant was deployed there. It was also one of the first to deliver emergency relief supplies. The helicopters from INS Vikrant and IAF Mi-17 aircraft carried out continuous rescue and relief missions. Clearly, even Sri Lankan authorities have also condemned the speed and coordination of India's response. Not only that, President Anurag Kumar Dissanayake describes Cyclone Ditwah also as the most severe disaster the country has faced. And now even Jaishankar's visit is expected to center on ongoing reconstruction assistance, underscoring India's Neighbourhood First policy and even its close maritime partnership with Sri Lanka. Yes.
Additionally, as part of this, what exactly does the situation in Sri Lanka now we're seeing in wake of the cyclone?
Well, if we talk about now, the situation is better, yes. And if External Affairs Minister is visiting next week, he will be talking about it. This visit is going to be centered around the ongoing reconstruction assistance that India is deployed, India is giving. There was an Indian Army field hospital in Badula that treated thousands of patients itself, while engineering teams also airlifted Bailey bridges to reconstruct and reconnect damaged road networks. There were naval ships that was transported hundreds of tons of dry nations. So clearly it speaks about India's commitment, supported by even deploying several rapid forces team to Badula, Gambaha, rescuing more than 450 people also trapped by floods and landslides.
Brian, I would request you to please stay on with me. The Department of Justice